All right. Another episode of You Name It for the crowd.
Man, time flies.
It sure does. That was a good one last week. A lot of nostalgia going on.
Yeah.
In that one.
I like that, though.
Yeah, it made me think a couple of things I wanted to ask you. You know, because obviously we've told you growing up in the 70s and stuff like that. I wanted to see if anything like this has happened, that you've noticed anything.
I'm going to take my glasses off.
All right, you go ahead and do that.
Oh, my headphones are making them sit funny on my head.
So here's a really important question.
You look better.
Really? So here's an important question, because we're now in the future. Where's my flying car? We were promised flying cars by this time.
I thought it was 2015.
You think that's the date that you got in 1977, that you read there was going to be a flying car?
Oh, no, I thought you were going by Back to the Future.
No, not the movie. No, I'm just talking about in general in the 70s. And,
all right.
You know, you'd see these articles in Time magazine or any of that kind of stuff, because we had magazines then and not computers. Right. You know, eventually we're going to have flying cars.
Well, it might not be when they said, but I'm not going to doubt that everything else that they've said in the past has happened.
We don't have any flying cars. What happened?
I didn't say that we do, but I'm not. I think we might. But everything else they've said in the past has happened.
Like what?
I don't know.
Well, there you go. You're a font of information, aren't you?
Well, there's that recording thing that's going around Facebook of the guy from 1965 saying, if I was the devil, how I would ruin the world would be, and he lists off everything that's happening right now.
Oh, yeah?
There's you know what? There's the best thing.
What?
Like all kinds of things from the old War of the Worlds or the Twilight Zones.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff in the Twilight Zone, the science fiction stuff actually happens now.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about talking dummies and
slot
machines that'll kill you, but you know,
like video conferencing. That's probably the big one. You could talk to somebody and see them at the same time.
Video conferencing, or like in Star Wars, the hologram thing where you see the that's out there now. That's coming.
Not really, but not
it
yet.
Is.
Well, I don't see Princess Leia in my living room.
I wish.
You know, this brings me to something too. I've noticed over the years. You watch movies, obviously. Have you seen these movies like Resident Evil and all that kind of stuff?
Aren't those off of games, like video games, though?
Yeah. But all these movies, let's simplify it. They take place in the future.
Right.
Post-apocalyptic future type stuff, the Resident Evil. But, you know, we're looking at 100 years in the future or whatever they end up being. Someone will kill me on that because I don't really know. But let's just say it's the future, just like Star Wars was. Why does the video suck? Why? We have really nice looking, 4K video now.
What video sucks?
Like, why did Princess Leia have to look so shitty in her hologram? Why was there not a clear image of her like we could see right now? Oh. Why in Resident Evil do they show this video footage, surveillance footage or whatever, and it looks shittier than it did 30 years ago?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Lines all through it and a bunch of artifacts all over the place. Wouldn't you think in the future it'd be better than what we have today?
Yeah, right.
I don't get it. Why does it look shitty like that?
A gleaming, sharp-lined, perfect figure that you mistake as a real person.
Yeah,
that good of clarity you're talking about.
So it's hard for me to believe all that technology in Star Wars, and they couldn't give you a clear image of Princess Leia.
They've got worlds that fly, entire worlds that live flying in space, and then here's a picture of Princess Leia, or no, Obi-Wan, that looks like you're watching Channel 56 on, an analog TV.
He was on the scrambled channel.
Right.
You had to tune him in.
Where you rub your hand over your eyes real fast to get the lines out.
Your own manual shutter.
Right.
That's crazy.
You've got a laser that pops out of a fucking flashlight, and you can't make a real person look good.
It bugs the shit out of me. Every movie set in the future has the shittiest video when they're doing that, when they're looking at video feeds or they got some device that's a surveillance device, and it's this shitty looking video.
Well, there is a little section like that because I'm a huge Back to the Future fan.
Yeah,
but there is a section of that in Back to the Future where he goes to the future and the shark comes out, the 3D shark comes out.
Okay,
here they're looking at the place that turns your car into a flying car, and then here this crappy, snowy analog shark comes out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
How How's that possible?
Doesn't make any sense. It looks shittier than it does.
It's stupid.
It looks shittier than it did in '85.
Right.
So stupid.
God. No,
I
get it.
That makes me think back. Another nostalgia thing was,
I like the nostalgia stuff.
Yeah.
It's good memories.
There's no harm in doing another one.
You know what? I guess because part of it is because I really liked our childhood and we had a lot of fun, and I'm sure other people had good childhoods like that too. But I don't know. It just seemed like ours was so. I don't know. I'm not saying it's better, but it was so unique. You know what I'm saying? In that block we lived in.
Yeah, a lot of weird shit happened.
Yeah, a lot of weird things that are out of the norm.
Well, here's one that wasn't normal that came in when we were young, and everybody can relate to this because everybody had their version of early cable TV, which some people just had HBO, right? That was one of the first ones, and they would microwave a signal to your house with an antenna on top of it.
Right.
You had one that was regional called On TV.
Right.
And because HBO wanted to put a 5,000-foot antenna on top of our house, my dad said, fuck that.
Right.
And he got one called It TV with a smaller microwave antenna that was, they didn't need to have the giant thing on top.
We had On, you had It.
Yeah. So what happened when they brought these out, you get one channel, and it shows uncut movies, and they would carry that channel on a broadcast channel, but the signal would come through the antenna and go to a box on your TV, and then it would tell how to descramble the signal that came from the TV station.
Right.
So you would turn, in our neighborhood, it was channel 20 on the UHF band.
Right.
And it would look like shit for everybody else. It would be all squiggly.
Right.
But when you turned that channel on and turned your box on, it sent it the little signal to straighten it all out.
Right.
But did you know of it before your family had it, or was that the first time that you saw it? Because we didn't have anything like that for like a year after you guys did, maybe more.
No, it was my parents had friends that had it.
Yeah.
And wanted to, I don't know, I guess.
Well, I'm just asking because were you aware of it too? Like the rest of us would turn on channel 20 and sit there and try and turn the fine-tuning knob.
Right.
Just to see
you could
see a boob.
Right. You could kind of see it. But
yeah.
I mean, I knew about the On service because they had commercials. But and I'm not going to lie. I was one of those kids that On, I think I went a year without fucking sleep before school. Because when everyone's sleeping, that's when you got up, you turned the volume down, and you watched the movies that showed boobs.
Yeah, and they weren't like porno movies.
No. Just R-rated movies.
Yeah, right. It was just because you got to see whatever.
Even less than you would see in today's R-rated movie.
Almost less than you would see on the FX channel.
Yeah, right.
Because it was just so rare to have a movie that showed boobs.
But
anyway.
there would be some, because they had a couple of like adult ones that they would put on there, but they weren't pornos. They were almost burlesque-y.
Yeah, they were totally 60s kind of thing.
Kind of like Benny Hill-ish, but they would actually have their tops off and stuff, and nothing below that.
Well, years later, we had It TV, and they actually had at midnight it would change programming, and you could pay for the extra package, and it would be Night Owl Theater.
Right.
And they would show... and it still wasn't porn movies. It was just stupid. Like they would show Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens.
Right.
A hard R movie with a bunch of Russ Meyer film with a bunch of boobs from the 60s.
It was fucking wonderful. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah.
It was art.
You didn't. I mean, that's the only way you saw a boob in your life.
It was good. Well, before that, I'd have to wait for a fucking cloud to go by that looked like a boob, and then you do whatever you got to do.
Or you dumpster dive for porn.
Well, yeah, because we would always find it in. You heard it before, folks. The crick. There would always be dumped porn mags back in the crick.
I remember myself and Steve Falk were out in the park that backed up to all the houses. We had a giant park called Maplewood Park. And we were standing on the little bridge-type thing that goes over the creek. And some kid rode up on his bike with a brown shopping bag full of porn and just threw it at our feet and turned around and drove away. And you're like, what the?
Because you had to ditch it.
Yeah.
Because, you're kids, you didn't want to get caught with it. There was no movies. There was none of that stuff like today where, there's adult packages on every cable thing or whatnot. Mags were it.
The only porn was in pictures or in like some porno theater.
Jesus Christ, dude! I remember because that's the first time I even saw a magazine like that.
Was what, the Crick?
Yeah. When we found them and opened up, and it was like it was a Hustler or something like that, or a Chick or something like that, or Chic or whatever the fuck they called it. I can't
who
remember.
knows? We didn't have anybody to tell us how it was
It was the
pronounced.
one that Samantha Fox was on. I think it was CHIC or something like that.
Okay.
That was the first time I remember like fucking shaking. Like, I don't know if this is right, but I know I like it.
Stupid. Old porn. But the channels were hilarious. And I was so jealous that you guys had it. And at that time, I wasn't hanging around down there all the time.
You stayed over once in a while because
No, I did the first. I remember the first time I actually watched this stuff was they had a special night. It was in October,
Halloween.
and it was. I don't know if it was actually Halloween
it was
night.
it was around Halloween because they
But-
did all the scary movies.
Yeah, it was called Fright Night.
Right.
And they played all horror movies,
Right.
all rated R horror movies. And
Right.
your wonderful mother let us all watch them. And
Right.
there was me and I don't remember who else. Did I bring Steve Falk down or what? Maybe
Well,
just me and my brother, you
no,
and Randy and somebody
I
else.
think it was the Sheridan brothers
Okay.
and then us. And like the original Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
where there was always the one girl out there getting slashed and she was
I remember
topless
3
and
of
all
them.
that, you
Yeah.
know.
Friday the 13th, The Last House on the Left,
Right,
something called Schizoid,
right.
and
God, I remember that.
I think Fade to Black was another one that was the guy who I think it was the guy who was in Breaking Away, the bicycle movie, and he played like this freak that killed people and painted his face
Yeah,
white and whatever.
Yep, I remember every year that was the.
They were horrible movies too. Schizoid was terrible.
I wasn't a film critic at the time. All I knew is sooner or later going to be two girls
There's going to be a boob out.
topless getting slashed.
Friday the 13th was the best. And our friend Mike LeBlanc was so jealous of that whole
Right.
thing. He was trying to go down the street to where, and I did this with him before. There was a friend of ours who lived down his street. And one time, I think Jaws was on one night. And Mike and I carried lawn chairs down and put them in the people's front yard to look through the window and watch Jaws. And they
No
kicked us
way.
out of there.
No way.
But he went down again to try and weasel in at that guy's house and got thrown out too.
God damn.
He was so upset about not being. He was so like almost mad at me. Like I should have. If he couldn't go, I should have turned you down.
Yeah, that's right. But now, why did we? What came after On and It?
Cable
Was that
TV.
when? Was that
Yeah.
when the cable company set up in Garden City?
Yeah,
and
after
was
that.
it
But there was a good like 5 years where there was no cable TV, and then
right?
and then there.
So what
there
cable
was
company was it? Comcast.
McLean Hunter.
McLean Hunter. That's right.
Yeah.
The
And
office
there's
was right by the post office.
Yeah, the rudimentary remote control, brown remote control, and there was probably only about 18 channels when you first got it, but you had MTV.
Right.
ESPN was a big deal.
Right.
And if you ordered HBO or Showtime, and I think at the time there was only HBO and Showtime, and then they rolled out the movie channel, and then
Right.
Cinemax, and they got more of it. But
I remember the MTV thing.
yeah,
What was it? 82 or 81 or something like
I think
that.
it was 80 when it came out.
80.
Because I remember seeing the first time I saw it was at my dad's friend Don, his house. They had cable, and we walked in to visit or whatever, and MTV was on, and I saw Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers playing "Runaway." I think that's the name of the song, right?
Yep.
And I was amazed that
No,
you could-
Runaway was Bon Jovi.
Was it? What's
Yep.
what was his? I thought he had one like
American Girl.
No, this is one of his early 70s kind of thing. Before that, you could see music videos, but you'd have to watch them on British television almost because they had the thing called the Kenny Everett video show that they would play half comedy stuff and then they'd show a couple music videos.
There was a couple on PBS too that they would have these little half-hour shows of music videos. But I remember because I actually saw the very first video.
The Buggles video killed the radio star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it was followed by Gary Newman and Cars or something like that.
Weird. I don't know.
Yeah. But I remember because it was we had a little group that bowled in the Junior Traveling All-Star League, and we all went to this one girl's house to watch this big, fancy schmancy thing, you know. It was good.
Yeah, we didn't get cable TV for a while either. Eventually, I was the big pirate. because
Yeah, you figured out how to do all that
I could
sneaky stuff.
I could zap the circuit board of the cable box in a particular way so it would open up all the channels, and as long as you didn't lose power or unplug the cable box, you'd have all the channels.
Right.
And I would go around doing it for everybody. Then somebody's dad got mad because 5 years later, when they're taking out all the cable boxes and redoing them to a new kind,
Right.
the guy's going, I had to pay $50 because there were scratches on the circuit board. They were looking for the whole
Right.
thing. I'm thinking to myself, $50 I gave you. How many years
Right.
of free cable did I give you? And you're going to be
right.
mad at me for $50.
Right.
Jackass. Stupid. Then I bought a cable box, too, from one of those nerd geniuses where I worked. And I worked at a place called Wireless Cable, which was
Right.
actually the first HBO thing. They just grew. They added more channels in their system. But he got a regular analog cable box and modified it, and all I had to do was plug it in and all the channels. And just put that in
God,
the
I
basement.
remember all that stuff. They were, you could get these cards, certain cards you put in that would.
That was later for DirecTV
right.
and Dish Network.
Jesus.
Hey, who cares about that? Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, but the old nostalgia is good though.
Well, it's so weird today. The kids today would have no idea how to cope with one premium channel. No cable at all, and just one premium channel.
God no. Hell, everything's on their phone now.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't even need the cable TV anymore.
I mean, the new MTV is YouTube. I mean, every band that makes a video, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because nothing plays music anymore.
No, there's no music channels anymore.
VH1 Classic, and it's usually older stuff. VH1 Classic has all like the metal stuff, like the 80s hair. They don't play anything new.
Yeah.
All the new stuff is on YouTube, and so videos are just as big. There's just as many.
Yeah.
It's just on YouTube.
They're still making them.
Sure.
There's a couple channels that
I surf YouTube like crazy.
I know there's a couple channels on my cable system that play new music videos.
Right. Oh,
But
okay.
it's all bands I don't know. And, I don't know them at all. A whole bunch of hip hop, a whole bunch of stuff.
There used to be a real good channel when I had what did I have here? Dish Network here.
Yeah.
And there was a channel called Palladia. Jeez, you all right?
No.
There was a channel called Palladia, which was really good and up to date and current. But now I just surf YouTube, which we are on, folks. So surf and find us.
Yeah, you name it. You name it podcast on YouTube.
Right.
The funny thing is that we've come full circle. Cable's on its way out.
Yeah.
People are now cutting the cord.
Yep.
And so we've been able to experience cable TV.
Right.
And the end of it, too.
And the end of it.
It might happen at my house soon, too. Just cut that wire and we do everything online.
Oh, you can watch everything nowadays?
Well, yeah, I would get a DVR that I would buy, not a TiVo because they charge you forever for a TiVo, but I'd get a DVR, I'd build one with a computer and get an over-the-air antenna so that all the normal channels, ABC, NBC, Fox, that kind of stuff, we could still record with a DVR, and then the rest of it, you do Netflix and Hulu and all the different ones.
So you can hook your computer up to watch it on your big giant flat screen?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just watch a tiny ass computer screen. It seems like going backwards, don't you?
No, it's you get your Chromecast out and you can sling anything to your TV in high definition.
Well, you're all tech savvy like that, and I'm not.
Trying, yeah.
I'm not.
I inhaled some Mountain Dew.
Oh,
That sucks.
snorting Mountain Dew. We're hardcore.
Yeah.
Got to stay awake.
So you got a Golden Boy for me?
Yeah, last week we had that story about my brother and me and Jerry, his brother, and all that. We're talking about the Golden Boy, how he always got away with everything. And I love it's funny now because like I said, every memory is fun to think about because he's not here, and now you can look back at everything and laugh. But he pulled the Golden Boy stuff on me, God, so many times. So the first, because I don't think you know these. You might not know these.
All right.
So when I was throwing a bunch of parties at the house,
Yeah.
Randy was in college. I think at the time.
At the house you live in now
Right,
or the old
right,
house?
my house. And I didn't throw parties at my house before I moved out because I didn't fucking do anything. Remember, I was playing Uno every Friday night with your brother and my parents. That didn't happen.
Someone threw parties down there.
Later on, when I was working at the mall.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess you're right. I was still there, but I was out of high school.
backyard party.
I was out of high school though.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, they have a big bash at my house like normal, and Randy comes over. My mom was always on me about having too many parties and this and that. Now, meanwhile, my brother's up at Central, and they're just a party animal house
every day.
He lived at 712 Main up in Mount Pleasant, right on by the campus. His 4 roommates were all bouncers at the bars. They party like crazy. I did it once a month. Well, 7 days a week, but big time once a month.
Yeah.
So Randy comes over. He gets really drunk, really hammered. And our thing used to be when someone would not be looking, you would steamroll them. You know, tackle them.
Yeah.
Everyone jump on them, pile them on them. You know, they used to call it different a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we did that, and his glasses broke.
Uh-oh.
So he gets up. He was a pretty tough dude. He gets up, socks me in the face, and he starts walking home. And he's drunker than shit.
Yeah.
So I pick him up, make him get in the car, I drive him home. The next morning, this is after maybe 3 hours sleep, 4 hours sleep, I get up, I go buy him new glasses. I go to my mom's house, and I walk in, and she says, "You're going to AA." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're going to AA. You've got a problem.
You're the one who's got the problem now.
I got up and I got him new glasses. What the fuck are you talking about? Meanwhile, she's making soup, chicken soup. She pours it in a bowl. She says, "Look out." She walks down the hall. I go and follow her. Randy's in bed hungover.
Yeah.
She's bringing him soup, and then she puts a rag on his head.
Shut up with the rag. Really?
Rag, yeah. So I said, he was drinking with me to the same time last night. I drove him home, and I'm going to fucking AA, and he's getting soup in a fucking rag.
And he was drunker than you were.
What's wrong with this picture?
Like way drunker than you.
Right. And then she boots me out. Years down the road, of course, we laugh at this. So once Randy catches on to this, I'm a golden boy thing, then he starts running with it.
Playing the system.
I've got a giant party going on at my mom's house because she's in Florida with my brother and his friend.
Yeah.
Randy calls. The operator says, "Collect call from Rosella Wilson."
Yeah.
I've got 150 people in the backyard, a DJ on the back porch, 4-foot stacks of speakers making a dance floor, and I'm screaming, "Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah.
Shut up!" And I clear my throat. "Hello?" And it's Randy going, "Weezy!" Just making fun of me because he knows he's dicking with me.
Yeah.
So we get a little older. Randy's still at college. He's almost done with college. And I'm bowling in a big league at Monday night at Cherry Hill, and there was these 2 bartenders that came to our parties and whatnot. And one of them was kind of like not so great looking.
Yeah.
But I've known her for a long time. So I have a party. Randy and his college friends go there, and they play their college game of Last Man Standing. Last Man Standing has to hook up with the last girl here.
I see.
No one could outdrink my brother. So he's last man standing.
Yeah.
He hooks up with this chick.
Right.
He wakes up the next morning. They're on the couch. He chews his arm off because he's got to get away from this. And he's limping up the stairs. And she wakes up and says, "Where the hell are you going?" And she looks down the stairs and says, Randy looks down the stairs and says, I got to get out of here because my brother really likes you a lot, and I'm going to be in big trouble if he finds out this happened. And then he takes off and goes back to Central. I don't know anything about this. I go to bowling the next Monday night, and she calls me over. "Ryan, we got to talk." "Okay. All right, I'll be right there." And put my bags down. Go in the bar. "Let me have 2 beers, please, Carrie. Thanks." "We have to sit over here in the corner." And she grabs my hand. Your brother told me about what you think, and I have no fucking idea what she's talking about. And then she spells it out to me, and it all clicks. Oh fuck! Last man standing. He fucking did it to me. I go home after bowling. I call up to Central. "Get Randy on the phone." And they get Randy, and he just answers the phone like he always did. "Wheezy!"
Right.
Yep.
Why do you call you Wheezy anyway? Is it from the Jeffersons?
I don't know. They just always did.
Yeah, I never knew where that came around. I knew my brother called you that too.
I don't know why. I don't know where that
Wheezy.
started from. But that's the kind of stuff he did all the time, and it was so funny. You look back at it, it was so hilarious. And the girl one
Wasn't funny that night.
the
though.
last man standing one. I mean, that's like fucking ingenious. I mean, that's ingenious. That's
brushing it right off to you.
right. That's oh my god. He was funny.
Making a quick
He did fess up all of this to my mom, especially the. Oh, well, here's another great one, Jerry.
Yeah.
All right, so when I first moved into my mom's house, or I mean my house, I should say.
Yes.
We're having some people over, and I don't know how the fuck it happened, but there was some girl we knew from Holland, Michigan. I don't know why. She was fucking smoking, too.
Yeah.
She was really good looking. So we do our party thing, and we're watching TV and cable, and we're drinking our beers, and I go to bed because I got to work the next day, and Randy stays, and sure enough, he fucking whacks her, like Randy did to everybody. You know, he got her.
Yeah.
I came home from work the next day, and all of my stuff was in the front yard. My dresser, my clothes.
Furniture too?
Everything. Call my mom, what the fuck's happening? Because this was my grandparents' house that I moved into, see?
Yes.
So my mother's parents. So she was over there cleaning stuff out. Obviously, she's, a little distraught because, whatever. It's not like the next day after my grandparents died, but, it's still the house that my mom grew up in. I know what's happening over there. And I'm not going to have it. Your grandparents would roll over in the goddamn grave if they knew what you were doing. You should be ashamed of yourself. I have not a fucking clue what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I went downstairs. I saw what was in the toilet. Still have no fucking idea.
Right.
None. No. Randy left the freaking condom in the toilet. And she thought I'm just over there being Hugh Hefner, which I didn't even have a girlfriend ever. Call Randy and say, did you fucking get the girl from Holland? Oh, yeah. Man, oh, man. Whoo-wee. What a ride. She was great. Blah, blah, blah. You fucking dick. All of my stuff is on the front yard because Mom thought I'm doing this, and it was you. He didn't fess up until like 20 years later when we were at the wedding. He tells a story. My mom chuckles.
Oh, you're so funny.
You're so silly. I'm like, do you know I went through like 2 years of therapy because of that?
You're the odd man out.
Yep, golden child and non-golden child.
Well, he was the youngest.
I guess.
So maybe you just weren't likable.
He was ingenious. He was ingenious. Fun times, though.
Yeah.
Now there's no stories anymore. We have to sit here and rehash them.
Well, just for a couple shows.
Yeah, that's right. Is there going to be exciting stuff happening for us soon?
I hope so. It all depends on the news. Which way I don't know any of the news that's going on right now.
I don't watch it, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
I watch Big Brother. I watch MasterChef. I watch all the cooking shows. I don't know any of that.
Oh, yeah, the Utopia show. I started watching that show. Everybody should watch that show.
That's a crazy show, man.
It's such a mess. And I know at this point of the taping you haven't seen it yet, but just to give you an idea of what's going on in this show.
Why haven't they?
Why haven't they what?
Why haven't they seen it?
I said.
Oh, yeah. I said, I saw some, not all of them yet, but it's pretty goddamn good.
They throw 15 people into a little patch of 5-acre place with a barn and a shed, I guess, too, where they keep animals. So the barn's a big area. They got a kitchen in there, or whatever. So they've got to try and figure out their own society, their own way of governing themselves.
Well, tell them how long these people are fucking doing this.
1 year.
A fucking year, people.
So, it's way more extreme than Big Brother. They got 160-something cameras around the place. You can stream them 24 hours a day. Although I didn't like this. They censor the feed. So if someone swears, they do the dump button on the swearing.
Oh, really?
So that kind of gets stupid.
Really on the feeds, too?
Yeah, I don't know if you pay premium, you'll get feeds that don't dump out the swear words or whatever. But it just gets irritating because those people swear a lot.
Well, yeah, right.
But they're crazy people. They tried to pick the group that they tried to get were the most diverse group just to cause problems.
Right.
They have libertarians and liberals and vegans and
right.
Whatever. It's everybody. They throw them together. The one thing that was interesting is there's a whole lot of nudity going on there. The women just decided, we're just going to swim naked all the time.
But they don't show that, though.
They fuzz it out on TV. I don't know what they do on the feeds. I haven't seen anything like that. And then there's a bunch of people hooking up, too. Which,
by the way, the fuzzing out on TV still shows more than cable did when we had On and It.
Yeah, you're right, too. But, it's a great show so far.
That's crazy, though. They're committing a year of their life
Yeah, I wonder
to
how
do
you could
this.
do that.
What the fuck?
You're not going to see your family for a year.
You don't even have to put diverse people together. Put 15 fucking family members together for a year and you're going to see fireworks.
Yeah, I think that's the whole motive is just they know these people are going to melt down.
Right.
And there's, I mean, just look at how stupid some of these people are.
Melt down and hook up. I mean, like you said, some of them, like, hooked up. The one new
Instant.
replacement guy just fucking whacked someone for 2 straight days.
And forgot and didn't know her name.
Yeah, right.
The new guy, I forgot his name, but of course I'm not sleeping with him.
Well, shows him. See how you like it. How's it feel, buddy?
But he does. Like he's
We don't
with
know
this
your
girl
name.
for a couple of days and he doesn't know her name. And they got the other girl who's polyamorous, which means that she's got an open relationship with everybody. So she's actually got 2 boyfriends at home and a girlfriend.
Open door policy.
And so she instantly hooks up with some guy there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get. I want to see the start of it all because I want to follow along.
Yes.
You know.
So you have to get caught up on
I mean,
that
because like
stuff.
things, I'm just blown away by the amount of time. Because Survivor is crazy. It's 39 days.
Yeah.
Big Brother is pretty
3
nutty.
months, yeah.
3 months, 90 days. Although they're in a real nice house, but still, 90 days.
Yeah.
Stuck with people. This is 1 year.
Yeah.
12 months.
I hope it stays as interesting and doesn't get really boring. I think they're going to switch out one person per month, though. I think they said something about that, where
Right.
they would lose one and gain a new person each month. I don't
Right.
know how that works, if they have a vote or what. I've got no idea. But they don't. They started them off with some cash. Now they have to make their own money so they can buy food, along with growing
each other?
it and- no, from the outside.
Oh, okay.
So at
This is like a little Amish community now.
something like that. Yeah, they've got to try and figure out ways to make money. So one girl's giving yoga lessons to the locals or something like that.
Oh, okay.
40 bucks a pop or
So they do have contact with the outside world. They're just their own little world in
Yeah,
that
they
5-acre place.
They can't leave. The only way they can leave is if they're hunting. They'll take them to the hunting grounds so they can go off and hunt for food and come back.
So the local people are coming into
they
their
have to,
little
yeah,
world.
They have to get all deliveries, and they, whoever else is going to come and give them money. In fact, now they're doing commercials saying Utopia is now open. You can come for yoga lessons, or you can come
right.
do this fishing or whatever. Basically, people are going to be paying just to go and
Right.
meet these people.
Right.
It doesn't matter what they're doing, which that's pretty easy, though. If the producers didn't see that happening,
Yeah, right.
people are going to want to go there because they think they'll get on TV,
Right.
and they'll just be able to meet these idiots.
I got to see it.
Yeah,
But
so that's-
I am a reality show fan.
Yeah,
Now, some of you might remember my favorite one of all time. This is of all of them. This is of Survivor. This is of Big Brother.
yeah.
Amazing Race.
You told them this one.
Did I talk about Solitary
Yeah,
before?
Yeah, you explained the whole thing. Yeah.
God, that show is great. I still watch the old ones
We
now.
should do. I could do links to the people for Solitary though, because you showed it. It was on YouTube.
Yeah, they have like the whole season. There's the first season is
2?
not on there. The next 3 seasons,
Okay.
Solitary 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0, those are on there in full segments by this one guy. This one, if it's not a full 40-minute thing and it's just a clip, then it's the wrong one. You look for the one that has the full show,
Yeah.
and he's got all of them in succession. It's
Good.
so good. It's so good. That was
Yeah.
the best one.
Do you watch any of the other ones? I watch the standard biggies like Deadliest Catch, and I don't watch Survivor. Well, I've never really gotten into that one. I don't know why. There's another one called Bering Sea Gold, where they dredge the bottom of the ocean in Alaska and they come up with gold. It's
Yeah.
just sitting out there.
See, for me, there's that's reality TV also. I know that. But I guess I like the competition based.
Games, yeah, okay.
The game ones. I like that because there's a cast and they're voting people out. You're rooting for people to where, like Deadliest Catch, it's the same people and they're just going through normal life. And that's great. And I like some of those shows too. But I like the more competition-based ones myself. So I watch
Yeah.
MasterChef and Amazing Race and Survivor and Big Brother and all of those competition-type ones. I like that.
I just watch the ones with lots of work on there so I can feel better about my job.
Or there were cooking ones. There's always Top Chef, and then there's
I used to watch
Next
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen, that's on now.
That was good.
Next Food Star Network star, and I like the competition-based ones
The
myself.
next Food Star Network star.
I said that wrong.
I just liked it.
The next Food Network star. That's
The food shows are funny, too. That falls in the category of Bob, what's his name? The painter. Bob, what's his name?
oh god, the guy with the afro.
Yeah.
He talked really.
Yeah, that's to me, that was a special category of programming, which was really relaxing to watch. You'd sit there and watch this guy paint, and I wish I could remember his last name.
Hell's Kitchen
Bob
is not
something.
relaxing.
Not that one. The regular cooking
Oh,
shows
right,
that used to be on.
right.
You wake up Sunday, and Mallory and I would sit and watch Food Network,
Right.
show after show after show.
Right.
And it's just relaxing to watch people sit and cook.
Right, Giada De Laurentiis, who's
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely my favorite, smoking hot.
You choose your shows on the quality of the host. Is that what you're saying?
Kinda. I'm shallow. It's not a deep puddle over here, Jerry.
No, I guess not.
You don't need boots. You don't need galoshes for this puddle.
Galoshes. 50 years old, you say, huh?
Yep, I said I don't act my. I said I don't act my age. So
Yeah, you're
fuck
acting.
yourself.
You're acting 75 with galoshes. Nah, the food shows were great just to watch them. Yeah, there it was. Bunch of TV.
Well, that's my TV because I don't watch regular TV. I can't take the sitcoms and the rom-coms anymore. I just can't do that.
I don't really watch much of that either. The
Canned
premium
laughter
channels,
crap is awful, dude.
I watch all the premium channel shows, meaning Boardwalk Empire. And,
Yeah, well, there are some good ones. I mean,
All
I'm
that
telling you,
yeah.
the cable networks now, they are blowing away regular TV, man.
yeah, regular TV is falling into
They
this
are
whole
blowing it away.
stupidity of market research where they figure out what the formula for the show needs to be for people
Right.
to watch it, and it turns out that it's just a lame
Awful.
shit.
Awful. Well, network TV now is that's what's keeping them up are these gigantic, great reality shows like Big Brother and Survivor. But if you want to watch TV with characters and plots, you watch HBO and you watch Girls from HBO or Silicon Valley or Veep or
Yeah, there's
that's-
always one starting up when the other one's ends. So
What's the other one? Boardwalk Empire
Boardwalk
is so
Empire.
fucking great.
And I watch Ray Donovan. And,
Right.
I try every one of them, and they're all pretty good. There is one good show that's on cable network, and it's called The Strain on FX, and it's like a zombie vampire type thing, and it's really good. It's
Yeah.
surprisingly good. It's graphic. It's got a real storyline happening, not just your stupid, canned shows.
Well, you know
So I
what?
recommend that one.
What new show I think that I would really like is the one that they were promoting on Big Brother. That's going to be on CBS. That one with the 5 different
Scorpion?
geniuses. Scorpion, yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to turn formulaic too. It's going to be this stupid thing where, look, somebody was murdered. Let's solve the murder, and they
Right.
solve the murder, and at the end, and it's just it's all the same every single time or something.
It might be good for the first few until
Yeah,
you
well,
find
I'll
out.
try. I'll try it out. Yeah,
I mean, at least it looks way more exciting than the normal crap that's on there.
yeah, they're really
you know?
pushing it too. So they must have had a bunch of money involved with that one.
Yeah,
So we'll see some production value probably.
yeah. But those big cable channel shows are so good.
Oh,
God, I love that stuff.
And I even watch from PBS. I'll even watch Downton Abbey.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I got wheeled into that too. I tried the one episode and I was hooked because it was a real story.
This is what gets me. Why the fuck can the plots and the acting and all that be so good on like the HBO ones, Girls, Silicon Valley, and you can't get anything close to it on network? Is that just because of the big wigs doing too much?
I think it's just because they do formula TV. They don't take any risks with any shows, and they just want to pump out the stuff that they know. How many CSI shows are there?
Oh fuck!
Right. So they figured out people like watching those. And that rolls over into shows like Grimm, which they try and pull in some, fantasy monsters. But it
Right.
turns out that Grimm is actually just CSI with werewolves and shit like that.
Right.
Everyone is the same as a CSI episode. This guy got killed by something. Let's solve the crime. And then whatever forensic way they solve the crime, that's it. they're no fun to watch when you know what's going to happen every
Right.
time.
Yeah, it's not good.
But the premium channels will take a risk and do a real story. Plus, they steal them all from the British. So
That's true. That's true.
a lot of these shows happen overseas in a different way. And
Well, like that one.
Shameless from Showtime was a really good show. With what's his head from Fargo, the car salesman from Fargo.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name.
He's on there as the drunken dad and everything, and the show's really good. Well, people don't know, but it ran for 9 seasons in England or Ireland or something.
Well, that one that I started watching at the beginning, we talked about it before. The show called Girls.
Yeah, I love that show too.
Because the guy on that show is so freaking good, and he's getting into movies now too. I mean, that was her baby, and I don't know. It seems like they let you have more freedom.
They did with her.
Because
she was so unique in the way that she wrote these things, and it was just amazing someone her age could come up with these intricate.
There's no one in an office up there telling them, well, it's got to be like this, it's got to be like that. They let it go. Man, it's good. So much better than what's on regular TV. So,
hey, we reviewed some TV shows.
There we go. Thumbs up and thumbs down.
Yeah. Siskel and
like
the
we
Dick.
know, like we know. Don't start with that. It's like we know what we're talking about.
No, just idiots spouting off about whatever. Anyway, that was a show right there.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean that was a show?
Means time's up.
Really?
Yeah.
No. How long has it been?
41 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Goes by quick when you're doing it. I didn't even have time to tell you the news story I saw about the people who painted a giant dick on the football field here in Michigan. And they weren't the first ones to do it. Some other people did it. This happened a couple weeks ago.
I didn't see that.
In Temperance, Michigan. This mom, 50 years old, your age.
Okay.
And a couple of teenagers.
I'm not painting dicks everywhere, folks.
A couple of teenagers go out there
right now
and paint a giant dick on the football field. And I don't know if they did it with weed killer. I don't know if they painted it or what. But then a guy, the city was going to have to pay to fix it. And some guy donated, he's got a lawn service or whatever. He came in and donated his time to fix it. What mom takes these kids out to the football field to paint a big dick?
One who was shunned and scorned in that high school when she went there.
I guess
that's
so.
who.
Jeez. So I wonder what will eventually happen. I'm sure it's just
perverted crop circles.
Hey, you can't paint a dick. You owe us $2,000 to fix the lawn.
She could be like that commercial where she meant to do something else, like that old guy that's doing the end zone, and the football player comes up and says, "Hey, really nice. Who's the chefs?" Instead, he puts chefs instead of chiefs.
Yeah. I'm sure she wasn't.
No,
it was a giant dick.
Jesus, man! Now that's a lady that's not acting. I thought I didn't act my age.
Yeah, and she's taking the kids out, thinking it's a fun outing.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of damage done.
I know. Can you imagine how much they're going to charge her?
Oh,
I'm going to guess $2,000, but it's probably more.
It's got it. Yeah, I mean that's big time.
You ruined our turf.
Well, if it was actual turf like some of the nice high schools have, oh Jesus Christ, dude, she's done. It's thousands of dollars.
Well, it should be, because she's got no business doing that at all. I wonder if she's drunk. The stories don't tell you enough. I can just imagine she's just drunk with her high school kids, friends, and stuff like that.
God,
let's go paint a dick.
I don't know. If you're the police, you're going, well, we have to patrol this neighborhood, because I'm sure she's got like a crystal meth lab in the fucking basement or something too.
Must have something going on down there.
I did not see that, but we did that stupid stuff around here. Were you ever part of painting the rock at the high school?
That's different. That's a kind of
high school rivalry-ish.
Yeah, you paint. There was a rock out in front of our high school at the corner. And then the opposing high school from the other side of the city would come over and dump their class colors or their school colors on the rock. And then you'd have to get your friends and paint it back the school colors of our school. And, but that's not like...
Oh, yeah, they weren't like painting dicks.
No, they weren't painting dicks, and they weren't damaging... They weren't tearing up the ground or anything. They just spray painted.
Can you imagine how many fucking coats of paint are on that rock?
Yeah, the rock used to be way littler than that.
Yeah, it must have started out like a pebble,
right?
Because now it's huge.
But what happened to the West Side people? What was paint? Was anything painted there?
Well, didn't they have a rock or they had a rock or a sign that we used to go do?
Yeah, I don't remember that one because I didn't ever.
'Cause we would
I never did it.
We would paint their thing blue and silver because that was our high school, and then they would come over and paint ours, orange and black.
yeah.
Right.
There was
Now there's only one high school because
Yeah.
they got rid of the one.
they combined them so nobody knows what to do. Well, then we went over and painted the John Glenn rocket from a different
right.
city.
Right.
So
That's right. They had a rocket out front.
Yeah, throw some paint on that. That's probably worse. But all that shit. Steal the big boy guy. That always happened.
I didn't ever do part of that. We
The
used to-
restaurant Elias Brothers here, some people know it as Bob's Big Boy. It's different across the country,
Right.
And it's the guy with the checkered overalls on holding up a hamburger,
Right.
And it got stolen.
Oh God.
People would steal the bell from Taco Bell.
Well, you're right. Now I did that before with Tom and my brother. We would go on the you would sneak in the back of the Taco Bell before they had the drive-through, and you would climb on the top of the building at night.
Take the styrofoam bell
Right.
out of there.
Steal the bell, or just sit up there. And the big thing was to sit up there and have a beer, like after one of the games.
Okay.
You sat on the top of Taco Bell. And
Yeah,
you
they
had
weren't
a beer.
open as late as they are now.
Yeah.
Back when we were younger, they'd close down at 10 or 11.
Right. And so you got on top of Taco Bell and you had a beer up there and you were out of harm's way and eye way, and that was the thing.
I'm hungry for Taco Bell right now.
I don't want anything.
Now that you said that. I'm getting Taco Bell on the way home from this dumb show.
I'm going home.
Well, and it's about time to do that, too.
Well, then
So,
we will do that. Are we going to do this again?
eventually.
Or I was just going to say goodbye to everyone. Thanks for your support and listening. And but we are going to have another show.
Yeah.
Okay.
In another week, possibly.
All right.
I guess we'll say this.
All right.
We might have to miss a week because I'll be in Anaheim. So I
No.
don't know yet, but
No, that means I can finally do the show the way I fucking want, and maybe we'll get some viewers.
yeah, especially since it's not even a visual. You can get as many viewers as you want to in your own mind.
I couldn't even hook up this shit. I wouldn't know how to start.
I could send someone over.
I'd film myself on my phone and just download that.
I could send someone over if you want to do the show.
Just me by myself. I'll play both parts. I'll talk like this, and I'll tell some funny stories. Then I'll run to the other mic, and I'll go, da, 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 like Jerry does.
That
and then
hurts.
I'll come back to my side, and I'll
That's
tell
just
some funny
hurtful.
stories. I'll say, shut up over there, you dick, and I'll tell
I'm
more
a
stories.
dick.
Right. So
I'm surprised you didn't want to go for that idea, but
look forward to those shows. Check the North American Auto Show tour, and then you'll know when to tune in.
no, I mean, we're not going to miss shows because of that. Just this first time we might miss a week.
No, we'll put some in the can.
There we go. Look,
Jesus. I hate talking like a real movie person.
are you high right now? We're not even movie person.
Or business person. What do you call it? You're part of the business.
How about
You're
just
in the
a
business.
professional?
All right, a professional. I hate talking like a professional. Go fuck yourself, Jerry.
You must hate it because you don't know how. Anyway, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right, we will. Later.